Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. Today, I have a very special guest with me today. She's the owner of Bad Witch Nails. Please welcome Emma Fischer. Hello, Emma. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you. So, I definitely want to get started, by asking where are you from and tell us a little about your upbringing.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I have two younger sisters. I grew up in Brooklyn. My whole family still lives there. Um, and yeah, I went to public school in New York and
Mhm.
found SCAD on the internet and pretty much decided that's where I wanted to go, and that's where I've been ever since.
All right, really, really cool. So, what is like your fondest memories just about beauty? When you were growing up, possibly.
I always My mom is, like, so not the girly girl type, so it was always, like, a really special treat when she would let me or give me money to go get my nails done. I, like, for, like, middle school dances, I would, like, convince her to give me extra so I could get the little, like, airbrushed palm tree on my
Hmm.
nails. And my grandmother is also like a very but my grandmother is a very, like, beautiful,
Hmm.
cares a lot about appearances,
Hmm.
and which, like, is not necessarily a great thing, but I have
Right.
very fond memories of, shopping with her at Bloomingdale's, and she's like a Bloomingdale's, like, triple platinum member because she's, like, lived in
Mhm.
New York for, like, 70 years or something and has been shopping there for all that time, and I
Right.
always my favorite part of Bloomingdale's has always been the beauty counters. I just like
Hmm.
walking through. I've never, like, you know, always was a kid, I could never, like, afford, like, any Chanel nail polish or anything,
Right.
but that's probably my fondest memory, actually. Yeah, and
Okay.
airbrush palm trees.
Yeah, yeah, that's really, really cool. But I definitely want to get into in regards to SCAD. So you're a SCAD graduate. So
Yes.
what was it that you majored in, and tell us about your SCAD experience?
I majored in fibers actually, which is like people always ask me about that jump from textiles to nails. But I always when I first went to SCAD, I thought I wanted to do fashion. I was
Mhm.
always really interested in clothes and designing
Mhm.
clothes, but then I kind of like went to that building a couple times and it just didn't really feel like I fit in there. And my
Right.
dad actually um, when we had come to Savannah to visit SCAD,
Mhm.
my dad teaches art. He
Mhm.
was, he's retired now, but my dad taught art,
Mhm.
mostly special education to young kids, but he has always been an artist. And
Mhm.
he was like, "Oh, they have a fibers department. Like, we should go check this out. Like, I think that you would be really into this."
Right.
And I was like, "Oh shit, this is actually everything I like about fashion is
Mhm.
fibers." And I just knew I always liked to make stuff, and
Mhm.
I don't even know if I really knew, like, what I wanted to do with that in the future, but I always loved making things. I've always been, like,
Mhm.
very, like, creative, and especially with fibers, I was really into, like, beading and costume embroidery. Like, anything
Mhm.
that's tedious and, like, takes forever is, like, totally my bag. Like, I love that. And, yeah, and I loved because I didn't have a lot of direction, I've always felt like fibers was a good choice just because it
Mhm.
like, there's a lot of freedom to
Mhm.
kinda, like, explore all these mediums in whatever way you want to.
Mhm.
So I got to, like, try out a lot of things there. I took some printmaking classes too, and I was really into that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I love SCAD. I feel like it's so easy to, like, get annoyed at, like, the SCAD kids now, walking
Right.
around and, like, filling up all my favorite bars so I can't get a drink and stuff like that, but I mean, I was one of those kids once, and
Mhm.
and I fell in love with Savannah, and I have not ever felt the need to leave.
Yeah, the thing is, I can kind of relate to you because the thing is, I majored in illustration and my minor was fibers. So
Oh, awesome.
yeah, my minor at first was printmaking, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I feel printmaking all that much because it's like, of course you know screen printing, but it's like on paper, and it's not
Right,
necessarily
right.
on clothes. Like you don't learn certain things in regards to clothing or like just different mediums. So I switched to fibers because you learn about yarn, natural dyeing, embroidery,
Yes.
felting and crocheting and things like that. And some people majored in fibers and they do like fashion pieces. Like one of them, her name is Chelsea Billingsley. She goes by
Mhm.
Chelsea B, and she crochets like she can crochet her behind off,
That's
and she does
yeah.
like these cool like crochet pieces, crochet puffer jackets, and
Cool.
her work is
Oh, I
very
have to
very
look her up. That
yeah
sounds
yeah
awesome.
yeah. Her handle is Chelsea B128, I think. If you
Chelsea
look her up,
B128. I'm just gonna write it down. But yeah, there's
yeah.
like that was always really cool. It was like the fibers department was always full of like all kinds of work, there was like
Hmm.
no like and I if I had had more money, I probably would have minored in printmaking. I loved that. The only
Hmm.
printmaking um the year that I did my printmaking electives, my first class was intro to etching.
Hmm.
And the day, the first day of class, I left class and I got in a bicycle. I wrecked my bike and I
Wow.
broke my right arm and I had to do
Ooh,
I had to pull all the presses with one hand. It was crazy. I did like
wow.
I ended up doing like a really cool, like all my work that like
Hmm.
whole quarter was like left-handed. It was all like
Wow.
I had to like really work with that, but I love yeah, that's great. I loved printmaking and I loved fibers. I thought about doing illustration too. Too many choices.
That's the thing with like Savannah. I really liked Savannah because it was like very laid back. It didn't have a lot of hustle and bustle. I mean, of course, that's not always a bad thing, but I liked how laid back Savannah was. But also too, like with SCAD, you learn so much in at SCAD, and you gain a lot of skill. That's what I really liked about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's just like and I think I kind of know that I realized too after I graduated that it really kind of like it kind of breeds this like really great creative community in
Right.
Savannah, like outside
Mhm.
of it. And like I've always loved that too. Like even in my like years working in the service industry, it's like everyone is like also an artist. And
Right.
that community is like really strong and
Mhm.
supportive, which is really
Right.
hard in New York. Everyone's always like, "You have a free
Mhm.
place to live in New York City. Why wouldn't you do that?" And I'm like, "Because it's too much. It's too
Mhm.
oversaturated, and it's really
Mhm.
hard to like find that spot, that
Mhm.
place where you fit in." And
Mhm.
um, yeah, so I
Mhm.
love that.
Yeah, right, exactly. But I definitely want to get into you also attended Savannah Technical College. So tell us about the experience with
Oh,
that.
well, I went to Savannah Tech to get my nail tech license. So it was just a 1 quarter,
Really?
but it was great. Yeah, they have a really great cosmetology program if anyone is
Wow.
curious. Because they do a full cosmetology. Private beauty schools are really, really expensive. A lot
Right.
of and I'm like, I already took out like hundreds of thousands of dollars for SCAD. I wasn't gonna like it was, so it was really affordable and I paid for it out of pocket. It was great. And then,
Mhm.
unlike most beauty schools, they give you the option to split your disciplines. So I
Mhm.
didn't. Usually, if you go to beauty school, you have to get a Master of Cosmetology license, right? So you have to like do all of it. But at Savannah Tech, I could go for only nails.
Mhm.
So that's what I did. I didn't want to leave Savannah, so
Wow.
um, and yeah, it was great. I loved Savannah Tech. It was funny, like, I was, like, 30 when I started there, so it's like,
Mhm.
uh, it's funny, like, going back to school
Mhm.
after not being in it for so long, especially, like, being older and going back to school, like, you know, there were like certain things I'm like, okay, like I have aged. I don't need to do this like the hit on not doing this like little written assignment, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
when I feel like when I was younger and getting the 4-year degree, I'm like, oh my God, I have to get every
Mhm.
single thing perfect and every single thing
Right.
right. And it was also really great like going to school with a bunch of like other, it was all women. It's not always all women, but
Mhm.
with a bunch of other women who, and we were all like so radically different, you know. It's like
Right.
a lot of people my age, a lot of
Mhm.
people or like young mothers, a lot of there were a
Mhm.
lot of nurses who were already working nurses but getting their
Mhm.
cosmetology degrees as like a second thing. There
Right.
were 16-year-olds who were just out of high school.
Mhm.
There were older women
Mhm.
who had been like doing it for a long time but like not legally, and
Mhm.
they were like now, you know, going to school to get the certification.
Right.
So that was really cool. I loved that. I made a lot of friends there,
Mhm.
um and now we're all like, it was a small class. I think it was only like 10 or 15 of us in the
Mhm.
just nails department.
Mhm.
Um and now we all like keep in touch for, you know, if I can't take a client, I know someone who can, most
Mhm.
likely.
Mhm.
So that's really cool.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting because like that's kind of like within my high school because it offered like some career class, like welding and culinary,
So smart.
cosmetology. Yeah, yeah. So I took cosmetology courses at my high school, which was like, from my second year of high school to like my last year of high school. So 10th to 12th grade. And you have to gain like 1,500 hours. And, before I went to
Right.
SCAD, I got my cosmetology license. So, I've been licensed like 2015. So,
Oh, that's amazing. That's so cool. I
yeah.
knew that, the time that I was in at Savannah Tech, I was living
Mm-hmm.
on the east side, like, right near Savannah High, and they said
Mm-hmm.
that there was a program like that there. I was like, "That would be cool." That would've been cool. I wonder if, like, I sometimes wonder if if I knew if, like, things like that existed where I went to school, if, like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows really, but I'm like, sometimes I'm like, "Wow, I just spent, like, I've made a career out of this nails thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, why did I spend all that money at SCAD? Why did I just
Right, right, exactly.
maybe if I'd figured it out sooner, I could have saved like 100 something thousand dollars.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, it's all a journey. I don't know that I would have figured that out without the
Mm-hmm.
other creative background.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, and I got my cosmetology license, but I've always wanted to do nails, because I started getting into nails like around like my early teens, like 13, 14. So I was like, I was looking at other different nail artists from around the world, especially the ones who would do like the extreme long nails. I was
Like
like,
crazy long
wow,
sculptural stuff. Oh, so cool.
yeah,
I know. I love it. I don't do a lot of that. That's not very practical for most of my
yeah, right.
clients.
Mhm.
I usually keep my nails really long. I went to a bowling party last night, so I took them off. I didn't want them to get ripped off in the bowling ball.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, right, exactly. But I definitely want to get into just in regards to like nail artists. Like, who would you consider to be like your favorite nail artist, possibly?
Oh my God, there's so many. My favorite one is probably this woman, Belle Townsend. Her Instagram handle is so hot right now.
Mhm.
She is so fucking good. I love her. I love Asa Brie, also
Mhm.
West Coast. Um, so hot right now. Belle Townsend does the nails for that show Claws.
Yeah, Claws TNT.
Yeah, on TNT. She does the
Mhm.
nails. She's the nail artist for that show, which is how I found her. She
Mhm.
is so good. She's probably on par with Asa Brie. They're both like, I love Asa Brie's stuff too. I like Gaudy
Mhm.
Octopus.
Mhm.
Name.
Yeah, Got Octopus,
I
yeah.
Yeah, she's great. And Brittany Tokyo
Yeah,
also,
Brittany
I love
Tokyo.
her. Yeah. Like, you know, the standards. I follow so many people on my I'm like always whenever my clients are traveling too, I'm like, "Oh, you've got if you can't get your nails done with me here, or if you need a fill-in while you're gone, you should go to this girl
Mhm.
and tell me." ILYSM
Mhm.
nails. And she makes nails out of, like, ridiculous things. Like, she
Mhm.
did, like, a whole food series where she'll, like, encapsulate, like, an apple, and she, like, shows the whole thing of her, like, carving the apple
Mhm.
down and then, like,
Yeah, yeah, I
covering
think
it
I've
in
seen that, yeah.
gel. Yeah. She does all kinds of weird
Mhm,
stuff.
mhm,
Um, the person who actually got me into it really though was, and I don't really watch her videos anymore because she doesn't do a lot of nail art anymore, but I used to watch this girl, Christine's YouTube channel, Simply Nailogical.
mhm,
And she used to do like nail tutorials all the time on her, like just cool, weird stuff. And I would just like watch her videos and I was like, I could
mhm,
do this. I could try this out. So I
mhm,
started doing that just like in a studio on my own nails or on fake nails.
mhm,
And oh my god, and I used to use a regular polish. I would, like, wait for everything to dry. I would, like, put stencils down. I would, like it was, like, crazy how long it took me to do. Like, I before I was licensed, that's what I would do. I would, like, make press-on nails because I wanted to do the art, but I couldn't, like, legally do it on
mhm,
other people.
mhm,
So I would just make press-ons, and oh my god, that took so long.
mhm,
Like, I switched over to gel completely. I don't even own any regular nail polish anymore.
mhm.
But yeah, Simply Nailogical. She's funny. She's a funny gal.
Yeah, like Brittany, Tokyo is pretty good. Also, Nails by May, she's
Oh,
really,
I
really
love Nails by
talented.
May. Yeah, she's great too.
Yeah, same thing
She's
with
great.
Naomi. Yasuda,
Mhm.
sister from Chicago, she's very talented as well.
Oh,
So, like, yeah, like there's a lot of talented nail
there's
artists.
so many. Yeah,
Um,
exactly. I know. Yeah, there are. There really are.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. But I definitely want to get into in regards to your experience on your own salon in Savannah, Georgia. So, what has been your experience just on your own salon?
Um, well, technically, I booth rent. So
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, and but that has been wonderful. I actually really, my first couple jobs, I was just like commission,
Mhm,
regular nail salon, lots of pedicures. I don't do
mhm,
pedicures anymore.
mhm,
um, but I switched to booth renting because I wanted to like kind of maintain my own like brand and identity, and you can't
mhm,
really do that when you're
mhm,
commissioned, wearing the same uniform as everybody else. Like,
mhm,
and the spa environment is like not really like my favorite
mhm,
environment. Like, I think beauty should be like fun and exciting, and everyone should be talking and chatting and spilling the tea and hanging out. So, like, I worked in a lot of like spa
mhm.
environments that were just like really sterile and boring and like too like white, honestly, that I didn't like. And so booth renting
Right.
has been great because then it's
Mhm,
like I found I'm starting to booth rent next week at a new spot
okay.
in the Starland district at Melrose and McQueen.
Mhm,
And it's great. It's like really bright and like there are lots of windows and they play good music and it's just like it's very vibrant. It's just like a little bit more me.
mhm,
And I hope to one day own my own salon and do nails. My dream is like a body art like parlor kind of thing,
mm, okay.
like nail art, tattoos, microblading,
Right.
but also like tattoos would be chill too. And
Mhm,
like maybe aesthetics, like you can get
mhm,
your Brazilian, but you can also like get like bejazzled or something. Like,
right.
like I think, the fun stuff. And hair too. I do like booth renting too because I like working with other beauty professionals.
Mhm,
Like I like it's cool when someone can go and like get their hair highlighted and then
right.
like be in the same place and get their nails
Yeah,
done. And I make a lot of new clients that way too with
yeah.
with the hair people around.
Alright, yeah, that's really, really cool, like an all-in-one salon. That'd be really, really cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's do it. That would be great. I feel like Savannah is like waiting for it. There's so many like creative people here who like
Mhm,
love that stuff.
mhm, yeah.
Um, yeah, a lot of yeah. I think that would be great. Let's do
Yeah, yeah,
it.
absolutely. But I definitely want to get into just in regards to just like the nail education, because I know you
Mhm.
talked about going to Savannah Technical College to, and they offer cosmetology course. So what was like the curriculum like in regards to just, with the education, the nail education?
I mean, really, it's a way to I felt I had it was great. I liked my instructor a lot. She was, like, super,
Mhm.
she was very why am I blanking on this word? She was she had been working for a long time. She was experienced. That's I don't
Mhm.
know why I couldn't think of it.
Right.
She was super experienced, and we learned a lot from her. I think, like, but, like, more or less, I kinda felt like school was just a way for me to, like, get
Mhm.
the health and safety
Mhm.
information down so I could pass the test, you know?
Mhm.
I felt like, it more or less just teaches you how to pass the test, and then everything else you just have to learn in the field because
Mhm.
there's so much you, like, don't learn until you're, like, consistently sitting down with someone to do
Mhm.
their nails, you know? And, uh and not even just like, I've always worked some kind of like food service or customer service. And so like I'm good at that. I always knew I'd be good at that part of it, like forming relationships.
Mhm.
Um, but like technically, I feel
Mhm.
like you just learn so much more just by doing it all the time and kind
Mhm.
of having that challenge of like a time crunch and like
Right.
a set amount of time to like accomplish a thing and
Mhm.
that had to learn a lot to shut up. Stop talking and just work. I was like, "Why is
Right.
it taking me this long to do a manicure?" I'm like, "Because I won't shut the fuck up." So, now I just ask questions and
Mhm.
and keep my head down and think about the art. Yeah.
Mhm. Now, how can you describe, like, your nail art style? Like, how do you like to do, like, nail art?
Oh, I don't know. I love trying all types of things. I mean,
Mhm.
usually though, my favorite stuff is the witchy stuff.
Mhm.
I uh playful is a good word. I feel like
Mhm.
I'm heavily influenced by, like, Korean style
Mhm.
nail art too.
Mhm.
I love, like as much as I love to, like, hand paint, uh, like, intricate thing, a lot of times I'm like, "Just slap a bunch of gems on it, it's gorgeous,"
Right.
you know? Like, that also has a place.
Mhm.
But yeah, generally pretty playful and bright, which is hilarious because on my
Mhm.
own nails, I only ever do, like, this one OPI nude color, and sometimes I'll add, like, a glitter topper to it, but
Right.
I never do fun stuff on my own nails. Um, but yeah,
Mhm.
playful, skewed towards a more retro vibe.
Right.
One of my, like, like, I do so many of those, like, 70s, like, squiggle waves. I could do them,
Mhm.
like, with my eyes closed. I love and, like, those little retro daisies. Oh, so cute. I'll never get sick of doing those ever.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
But I
right.
love to experiment. I mean, I literally spend, like, hours a day on my phone looking at cool nail stuff I wanna try. I just got an Amazon package yesterday of some cool stuff I've never used before, and I can't
Mhm.
wait.
Yeah, that's really, really cool, but I definitely wanna get into in regards to pricing nail art. So, what are some things you take into account in regards to pricing your nail art and nail services? And how important is pricing in your perspective?
Oh, it's so important. Everything is getting so much more expensive these days, and we are also worth it. We should be more expensive.
Mhm.
Um, so for me, I find like I pretty much do. It's really important because like you have to
Mhm.
decide your worth, you know. And
Mhm.
when I think about the art pricing, I think about the time and money I spent at SCAD honing my
Mhm.
creative skills and the years after that.
Mhm.
And also product and also time. Right now,
Mhm.
um, and it's also like, it's because it's like a consultation rolled into one usually, like I don't usually do a consultation before the appointment. I have
Right.
no clue what someone's going to ask me to do.
Mhm.
So I actually just started and it's been working really well for me. I had been doing it where like there were like kind of 3 different levels, like tiers. There's like simple, and then like it gets more intricate. And those were like little windows of like money, like $15 to $25 for this, blah 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 blah. Now I don't do that because it looks simple, and then you
Right.
try to do it, and it takes flipping forever. So
Right.
now I have it blocked. There are simple designs. You can do a French for really cheap. I'll do chrome powder. It takes me no time at all. Things like that. But everything else is time based. And I just decided what I wanted to make in an hour, and I break it up into 15-minute increments. So if it takes me 15 minutes, it's like this much. 30. It's the lowest for custom is 30.
Oh,
Pretty
okay.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. So
On
you charge
top
like
of the
that
nail
time?
service. Yep.
Okay.
Because especially with like, have you seen these like this like velvet? This is like a perfect example, that like velvet nail trend.
I think so. Yeah.
It's like they use magnetic polish and they run the magnet over it so it looks fuzzy. It looks like sparkly and like velvet. And it's really cool, and it looks like it's just one color. It looks like it should,
Right.
but it's it's not. Like
Right.
it's like
Exactly.
so layered, you know. It looks like it only should only take me 15 minutes. It easily takes me 30 to 40. Because especially because you want it to look perfect. And yeah, so, and I think that like other people really don't have like it's a lot of clients don't really have a concept of what time it's going to take. But a lot of times I'll ask people to if they want to send me pictures of like something they're thinking about, and then I can give them like a rough idea of what they'll be spending.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. But I definitely
Yeah.
want to get into just in regards to just getting clients. So what has been your journey like in terms of, or what are some ways that you've been able to establish clientele?
Instagram has been huge for me, and word of mouth. I've never advertised ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm,
Um, we've got this wonderful creative community in Savannah that I am so
mhm,
cloose with. So when I started doing it, it kind of just, it was just my friends at
mhm,
first, um, and then another thing I was doing in the beginning too was I would
mhm,
do free shit for people if I knew they were gonna be, like, out and about somewhere or, like, for an event
mhm.
or something, and that helped a lot, especially because, like, when I was working at, like, the spa,
Right.
no one knows I'm in there. No one's, like, coming in to get some cool nail art at the spa. They're just getting, like, Funny Bunny. They're getting, like, one color, and they're calling it a day, and then they're
Yeah, yeah, just polish.
so I didn't have, like, a lot of opportunity to kinda, like, show my skills there, so, like, I would
Mhm,
do, like, free cool nail art on people because they're going to, like, an art opening or whatever,
mhm,
and I would do my nails. I kept my nails a little bit crazier back then too, and then people would be like, "Oh, Bad Witch Nails, follow her on Instagram."
mhm.
And Instagram, and then since then, my Instagram's grown, and I get a lot of new clients through Instagram,
Oh,
and through
that's
things like
cool.
this, through interviews and newspapers and stuff like that.
That's really,
But
really cool.
Instagram is a great tool to get the under 25 crowd in the chair.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely wanna get into in regards to nail products. So what has been, like, your favorite nail products to use for doing, like, nail art or nail services?
Okay, I have a few. I never do anything without Young Nails Protein Bond. That should
Mhm.
be the first thing before the base coat on a gel polish even. Even on a regular polish, I would
Right.
put that shit on your nails. It makes everything stick, and it's actually only one of the only Young Nails products that I use because they have a great acrylic system, but I don't do acrylic, I only do gel.
Right.
And, um, but I use that primer for everything. It makes anything
Mhm.
last. Like, my gel mani is typically like, I did everyone's nails before I went home for Christmas. I was gone for a long time. Some of these people I haven't seen in like a month, and fully not expecting to have to soak anyone's nails off when I got back, and
Mhm.
like everyone still had gel on
Mhm.
their nails, and I was
Right.
like, "That's that protein bond. It works." And um, I am obsessed with this Japanese company called Apres. I use their
Mhm.
extension system. I use their like diamond gels. Their non-wipe top coat slaps. It's so good. It's so shiny. It's so
Mhm.
hard. It lasts forever. It honestly is annoying. It takes me forever to sometimes soak it off. And sometimes I have to just drill it. I'm like, this is gonna take
Wow.
us an hour. I don't like drill it all off. I'll usually just like get the shiny off and it'll soak off okay, but it's
Mhm.
so good. They make a really good velvet matte top coat
Mhm.
also. And I'm like, I've been saving. I think I'm about to buy their whole gel. They have a whole gel. They just came out with a gel color collection, so I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
buy that. So they are so pretty.
Mhm.
Um, and I order a lot of my art stuff. I'll put anything on a nail. My favorite thing I've ever had was my cousin my little
Mhm.
cousin used to be really into like
Mhm.
kids are weird. He didn't kill the small animals, but he was into like he figured out how to he got into taxidermy.
Mhm.
And but then he had all these like he had found all these like bones from little dirt rats, mole like is that what they are? Is it a mole?
Mhm.
I don't know, whatever the fuck. A little like rodent. And he found like a bunch of bones. They're like
Mhm.
really, really tiny. And he like cleaned them and bleached them and put them in a jar and gave them to me.
Hmm.
And I put those on people's nails. Those have been
Hmm.
cool. Most of my art stuff I order from two companies. I like Daily Charm and I like
Mhm.
Twinkle Tea. Twinkle Tea is they're an American company.
Yeah, I heard of them, Twinkle Tea.
Yeah, they're in California. It's like a sister-run company. They also, I think, just came out with a gel color collection, but it's not as many.
Yeah.
I want like 200 colors, and I think Twinkle Tea only has like 100. It's not enough. It's not
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, those three I use religiously. And then there's certain like OPI colors that I always keep on deck. I always keep
Mhm.
Bubble Bath, Samoan Sand,
Mm.
and Funny Bunny. Those
Mhm.
three. Those three neutrals are my staples too.
Mhm. Yeah, I
So
find
yeah.
it so interesting. Like, a Prey got all these colors. There's so many colors, but also too, if you go to Zillabo, they got some good Korean, Japanese based products too.
Oh, wait, from where to where? I'm
It's
learning
called
so
Zillabo.
much.
Yeah, it's called Zillabo.
Zillabo.
So it's Beau. Yeah,
Oh,
Zillabo.
okay, cool. Okay. Huh. All right. Interesting. Oh no, I'll spend all my money.
Yeah, so they got like different like Korean brands, such as like Tiny Gel. They have Ho Ho
Oh,
Lee with
uh-huh.
another gel brand. Some
I
other stuff
haven't ever
too.
tried. So Asabri is like and so hot right now are really into cocoist.
Yeah, Cocoas.
That shit looks good. I've never tried it, but I know I would. That's the
Mhm.
thing is I can't just buy one, I have to buy like 100.
All these different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I always want I'm like, I think I have like 70 colors right now. It's not enough. I need all the colors.
Right, right. Yeah, you can't just have 10. You gotta have them all.
No, exactly. And I do mix I mix with my polishes too a lot too. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, I'm the
if I
same
don't
way
have a
too.
color. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, if I don't have a color, I'll just be like, "It's a custom color."
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. But I definitely wanna get into in regards to technology because technology is, like, growing and changing and things like that. What is your take just in regards to the growth of tech and how it's affecting the creative sphere in not only the nail industry, but also in art as well?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if it weren't for things like Instagram, Pinterest, all these kind of like image sharing
Mhm,
technologies, There's no way that nail technology would be on the like wave that it's on right now. You know, there are communities that getting your nails done is like has always been a part of like, you know, of certain like cultures and things like that. But as far as like art goes,
Right.
like, you know, there's plenty of people who have been doing that for years, but it hasn't like really rose to like the kind of like popularity that it I don't see how it could have, you know, if we couldn't share. People can't share all the cool things they're doing and how to do them. I love a good tutorial. And then there's no, you know, like when I started, I got licensed in 2019, January 2019. So I've been doing it pretty much like since I started working like day one as soon as I got my license. And I realized then, like, even when I was in school, even when I was, like, thinking about doing it, I was like, "It is kind of having this moment. Maybe I should ride this wave," you
Right.
know? And, yeah, and the wave seems to still be going, so I hope it does because I enjoy what I do.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But what is your
And
take, like,
I
in
mean,
regard
oh,
go ahead.
and I use those tools all the time. Like, I had to turn my screen time notifications off because it was, like, depressing me that I was on my phone so much. I'm like, "But it's for work."
Yeah, yeah. And the thing with technology is that we live in a time with social media, and social media has gotten so big now. You know, you got, not only that, but also like nail products, like, advanced LED lamps,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
different things like that, advanced products that you can use, especially the nail art products have elevated too. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
So
I mean, who like, literally, every time I use a magnetic polish, I'm like, "Whose idea was this? This is wild." That's so cool.
yeah, 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 absolutely. Like
Um,
what are some of like your favorite nail trends?
oh, I do love the fuzzy nail. I could
Mhm.
I could I would really appreciate it if, the Hailey Bieber thing died. That would be cool. I can't stand that. I hate doing that look for some reason. The things I like, um, I love anything floral and
Mm,
anything I love doing flowers of all types.
mhm,
And, um, favorite nail trends, I've been doing that velvet nail in so many colors lately.
oh, really?
But I also I also just got I haven't tried it yet, but, like, flocking powder designs,
Mhm,
I'm excited. Sweater nail, so cute. I'm into
mhm,
that. Um, and I like the retro trend is having, like, a moment, the daisies. That's cute. I never get sick of a little white daisy. It's so adorable.
mhm,
Um, yeah. I never know what I'm gonna do, though. Sometimes I don't know if I'm that up on the trends. I just
mhm,
wanna I don't know. I always like doing things that are, like, based on a theme too.
right.
Halloween nail art always I get a little sick of it after, like, a week or 2, but I love doing nails that are, like,
Mhm,
for a costume, like, based on a person or based on, like, another piece of art. I love that too. I love doing
right.
like, finding little pieces of, like, other work that's, like, outside the realm of nails and
Mhm,
getting inspiration from that.
mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. But outside of being a nail tech, what are things that you like doing in your spare time in terms of, like, other hobbies and things like that?
Lately, last couple of months, I've been so lazy, but I do roller skate. I love roller skating.
Mhm.
Um, and you can find me in the park in north of Forsyth Park, or the north, like north of the fountain is
Mhm,
usually where I skate, or at Lake Mare on the south side.
mhm,
But there's been a lot of hockey people there lately, and they're mean. They don't let you share. They don't share the rink.
mhm.
I just got a pair of rollerblades too that I've not rolled around in yet, so I'm excited about that. I hang out with my
Okay.
boyfriend. I hang out with my cat. Me and my boyfriend love food. We are terrible about spending our money at restaurants. We said that we would eat out less in the new year, and we have not been succeeding at that.
Oh wow. What's like your
But
favorite
yeah.
food?
Oh my gosh, I can't make that decision. Oysters, probably. Um, I'm a simple gal. Like my if I had to eat only
Mhm.
one thing for the rest of my life, probably pickles. I love pickles
Yeah,
of all
pickles are good.
types.
Yeah, like dill
Yeah, I love
pickles.
anything pickled, honestly, is like I could live
Mhm,
on it. Savoy
mhm,
Society downtown makes a pickle martini
mm.
that is delish. So good.
Wow.
And, yeah, pickles probably. When I went to Israel a few years ago, and that was, like, all I ate the whole time was, like, pickled everything. And baklava, and baklava, and
Huh.
ice cream. Oh, I love ice cream too. Yeah, see, I can't pick a favorite food.
Yeah,
Too
yeah,
many
you like
things.
a lot of stuff, you know?
I know. Anything if it's paired with the right glass of wine.
Yeah, right, exactly. But last but not least, where can people find you on social media, and how can people support you and your business?
Oh my gosh, come make an appointment. Click the link on my Instagram. Book now. It's my Instagram is Bad Witch Nails. My website is badwitchnails.com. I think I'm on Facebook there too. That's it. I don't do Twitter or anything. I can't
Oh,
handle Twitter. I feel like
mm.
I'm too fragile. I can't handle it. I don't like I don't I don't know. I feel like I don't have anything that important to say all the time. Or maybe I just haven't figured out how to use it. But yeah, Instagram mostly, Bad Witch Nails. That's where you can see all
Mm.
my work too.
Alright, cool. Well, thank you so much, Emma, for jumping onto the show. Your work is really, really
Thank
cool.
you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that so, so much. I like, let's do a trade. You do my nails.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Like, I'm more into, like, the press-on nails, like, and things like that. But, yeah, I
That's
mean,
cool.
anytime. But, yeah, but your work is really, really cool, and, and it's really cool, because I found about you, like, that, you were a SCAD graduate, like, on TikTok, 'cause, SCAD shared a video of, like, one of your nail art designs on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen.
I didn't. Oh my god. Honestly, I got locked out of my Bad Witch Nails account. I have to like figure out the password. I'll figure it out and then look at it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
also I actually was just shopping too for like a stand for a camera. So I'll make more TikToks. Oh, I am on TikTok. So Bad Witch Nails on TikTok. There you go. There's a couple videos on there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you so much. This was a great conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Be sure to check out my website, ASIATHABIRD.com, and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care, stay healthy, and stay beautiful. Bye bye.